Good evening, YouTube. It's a very dark night in Queensland. Fuck, today was long. It was busy, but it wasn't busy, so there were moments where it was actually quite boring, and I think that's worse than being busy, because all you want is for the day to end. But you know, when you're sitting there between customers and it's like, oh, hurry up, I want to go home. I got a Warhawk for my helmet. I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, dude, what are you, 12? You know, there's a lot of older people that have that. Plus, mine's got reflectors on it, so it's not just for looks, it's for safety. Because as you can see, I do a lot of night riding, so having more, being noticed more and seen more, you know, that's just a safety thing. So, yeah. And I have to admit, it's pretty cool. People think it's cool. People think I'm cool because I got one. And I am cool because I got one. Although I've got the Shark S900C, so it's, how do I put it? There's a little bit of a wing at the back, sort of a spoiler on the back of it, which blocks anything from being able to be put on there. So I cut up the Warhawk so that I could fit it between it, but then there was a gap where the spoiler was, and I was like, fuck, that looks like shit. So I thought, oh, I'll cut another one off, another like just one little, you know, spike thing, and stick it on top of that gap. That way it sort of just rolls into one. But then that stuck up too high, so that looked really out of place and stood out more. So I was like, fuck, dickhead, what am I going to do? So I got the two bigger pieces and I just stuck them over it so that it sort of just looped over it and joined at the bottom. So there's a little bit of a gap at the back where it joins together, which isn't really noticeable unless you stare at it a lot, and I'm guessing at night when I'm riding people won't notice it at all because it doesn't stand out that much at all. But yeah, I like it. I reckon it's cool. I've got a cold green motif happening. Green's my colour, mainly because the bike's green, so naturally I wanted my gear to match. When I first started riding, I was like, all I want's a helmet. I don't give a fuck what colour it is, I don't give a fuck what it looks like, just give me a helmet. And then as I got my bike, I was like, why doesn't my gear match? This is ridiculous. My gear needs to match. If I've got a blue bike, I've got to have a blue fucking helmet. So now that I've got a green bike, I'm like, I've got to have a green helmet. And then when I got my resistance sticker from Downshift 83, it had to be green. And when I got my Halo belt from the States, which is also on my backpack, there's some photos on my Instagram, that also had to be green. Everything has to be green. And when I was getting my bike serviced, I was looking at the jackets there, and there was some green jackets, and I was like, should I get a green jacket? I've got a black one now, I should get a green one. So I don't know if it's some sort of an OCD thing that's happening, but yeah, everything's got to be green. Green, green, green. So how are you going with OCD with your bikes? You know, if you've got a bike, did you sort of start off the same way where you're like, it's all good, whatever, I don't care if it matches, to the stage now where you've got nail polish that's the same color as your bike, just in case some sort of an occasion requires you to wear nail polish? And I've been thinking, since I got my bike serviced, I've been thinking about my next bike. As I said, I'm not going to get rid of this bike, because I fucking love this bike, she's awesome. And going to and from work, she's absolutely brilliant. But I just want a bigger bike. I want my big boy bike, and I want it now. And I'm just thinking, the Z1000. I love that Street Fighter look, I love the Z series, you know. My first bike was a ZZR 250, my second bike is a Z300. My third bike, why not be a Z800 or a Z1000 even? Because I just love that series of bikes. And naturally they're green, so it'll match all my shit. So that's a bonus. It's a bit foggy tonight, or, you know, I need to clean my helmet. I use cat crap, and it's pretty crap. It lasts a little while, and then it just goes away. And yeah, when I bought it off online, of course. And, you know, they had a picture of it there. They didn't have the measurements, and I was expecting, you know, oh yeah, that's probably like a, you know, the size of a hair gel tub or something like that. You know, it's probably pretty big. And then I get it, and it's like the size of a 20-cent piece, and I'm like, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm almost out of that. And when I got my bike serviced, I asked about pin lock visors, fucking bumpy shit, and pin lock inserts for the Shark S900C. And they didn't have any in stock, and so they checked out to see what if their supplier had any, and they did, and it's like $80 for the actual visor itself, and then another $40 for the insert, which is pretty cheap considering. I mean, I checked online for that sort of stuff, and you know, you could get the visors and things like that and the actual pin locks from overseas, but they were actually pretty expensive. So I think I'll just get that. because I do a lot of night riding, and it sucks when the visor gets all foggy and shit. And I'll probably end up spending 10 times that much on cat crap. I wonder why they call it cat crap. All I can picture is like some guy in the 60s riding along and his helmet keeps fogging up, so he pulls over and there's a cat doing his shit, so he picks up the cat shit and just rubs it on his visor. And voila, cat crap is born. Probably more scientific than that, but that's my theory and I'm sticking with it. Well, I'm tired, so I've got a little bit longer ride, so I shall catch you later. Bye!